Hey artists, welcome to lesson 2 in PIXLR X tutorials on making a new image. So we're going to look at backgrounds, text, layers, and elements. So you'll need to start, if you're going directly to PIXLR and not using my link for PIXLR X, you will want to go ahead from PIXLR's main page and click PIXLR X. Again, we're focusing on the quick and easy version as we start off learning about PIXLR. And I am following with the written tutorial, but as I mentioned in lesson 1, the screenshots have changed because PIXLR has been updated since this written tutorial was created. So here we are in PIXLR X. We are going to begin by using a preset size. So we're going to click Create New, and under Create New, we're going to go to the Social tab, and we're going to use the size that is appropriate for a Facebook cover. Now, before we hit Create, let's pay attention to what we have here. We have the ability to name this thing right now, and I want you to name it with your last name, and then PIXLR X2 to show this second tutorial. And now we're going to choose Create. We're not going to change the size. Once we have that size created, you can see the checkerboard. That's our canvas or our page size that we're ready to work with. And we're going to start by giving it a background cover, or background color, excuse me. So in our layout and templates here, you can see if we switch on background, instead of seeing the checkerboard, which shows you you're seeing something clear, we can pick a background color. I'm going to go with purple because that's my favorite color. But if you don't want to use this preset color, notice I can use these sliders to slide everything around. You can pick any color that you want, but you need to put a background color on your image. Now we're going to add text. So you have this text tool right here. While you do have some of these preset texts with fancy fonts and things like that, I want you to click Add New Text. And it will add just a text box, and you can put anything you want in there. I'm going to type, double click on there to edit, computers and art, and notice all the things that I can do to change this text. So I can change the font, and anything with this crown icon means you have to pay for it, but there's a ton that you do not. So find one of all those ones that are free. I'm only on the letter B. I'm going to be here all day. That you think is going to be interesting. Then notice you can change the color of the text. Not only could it be a solid color, it could be a gradient, or it could be a pattern. Some interesting patterns going on here. I really want to go with something like this. So I can just close that and it will apply. Right now you can't see it so well because the size of the text is kind of small. But if I grab this slider and bump it up, I can make the text bigger. I can also change the layout here so that I can use the space a little bit better. Too big. There we go. Oh, perfect. You can change things like the letter spacing, so squish them closer together or space them farther apart. You can adjust any of these things, and what I want you to do is change at least 3 text attributes. There's a bunch of cool stuff down here even. I'm going to go ahead and put mine on an arc. And no backgrounds. Maybe add an outline. But I did lose my fill in the process, so I think I need to go back to that. No, it's still there. It's just harder to see. Okay. And double check on those things. So remember, changing 3 text attributes before you move on. Yours can look different than mine, but I want you to try some things out. Now we are going to skip the direction in the tutorial, the written one that has you save it at this point. We're going to keep moving along here so that we can keep making edits. We're going to add some elements. So we can close that text dialog. Your elements are here. And the first one that is suggested is an overlay. So if you click overlay, you get to see a whole bunch of available overlays. And if you click on them, they will go over top of your image. Hence the reason they're called overlays. And I actually kind of like something like this is very cool. And I'm going to go ahead and stretch that out. Just use those corner toggles to make it fill up the space. So you must add an overlay to your image. Now we can also look at other things like a border. So again, anything with the crown icon is going to be paid, and anything else is free. So you must add a border to your image. And I would like you to check out all the other options. So between shapes, arrows, stickers, winter, cat, people, hearts, whatever it might be, add other elements, at least 2 or 3 other elements. I want you to notice they are piling up on our layers. So if you feel that your text is starting to get lost, you can drag this to the top and it will pop up on top of all that stuff that you are building there to make it more visible and easier to read. When you have added 3 or 4 other elements besides your overlay and your border, and you already have your text and your background color, then you have completed this activity. So you are going to choose save. We are going to turn this in as a JPEG, which will take all those layers and smush them down. And we are going to choose save as. So you don't need to change anything on this dialog except for now clicking save as. And same as the last lesson, you can see mine is in my downloads. I want you to name it last name, Gillis for me, PIXLR X2, and go ahead and choose save. Don't worry that this little pop-up thing is right there on your screen. It does not matter. You got your download saved, and you will need to submit that file to the PIXLR X Tutorials Lesson 2 assignment on Schoology to turn it in for grading.